Judge's case number JVB2001, Allen case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Miss Allen, you're back. It looks like you brought someone with you. What's going on?
King. So he's my nephew's father.
Okay.
And I need help, you know. Mom's paying child support. I feel it's only fair that dad pays child support for, you know, his child.
Okay. And you said for your nephew, if I remember correctly, there were 2 children, right?
Yes. He's just the father of the 4-year-old.
All right.
Yes.
All right. But you said he was around. I remember you saying that.
And he even dropped off some school supplies. You know, he brought him a backpack and he got him, you know, the scissors and Crayolas and stuff. But, I mean, he didn't help with school clothes.
All right. Right. Have you ever asked him to help with school clothes or do anything more?
I mean, he knows school starts, you know.
So that's a no?
That's a no.
Okay. How do you know he knows that school started?
I mean, because the summer just ended and the school starts and he knows his baby's going to go to, you know, kinder. He knows that the baby's starting pre-K. So, you know, he brought school supplies. Why wouldn't he think to bring school clothes?
Well, that's true. That's true. You all have a decent relationship, though.
We do. And he's, you know, he's sometimey. He comes, you know, when he wants. I mean.
That was funny.
Just listening to her, that's it.
Okay. All right. I'll get to you in just a second, okay?
Yes,
all
ma'am.
right. Continue.
Basically, that's it, you know. My sister's not doing her part. He does sometimey part, and, you know, it's just getting old.
Okay.
My nephew deserves more.
So at this point, you are wanting to place him on child support?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I don't know if, have you talked to him before today? Because I don't know if he knew this because he has this look on his face and shaking his head. You haven't discussed this with him?
We haven't.
Yeah,
we haven't.
Where is this coming
I mean,
from?
not that you legally have to, you don't.
Well, okay,
but
he knows that mom is paying child support. He knows that my sister's paying me child support for her 2 kids. I think it's only fair he paid child support for 1 kid. He had to have known this was coming. You know, he knew that I had put my sister on child support.
Buckle up, guys. Today we're diving headfirst into a courtroom showdown that wastes no time pulling us into its gravity. From the jump, you can feel the tension ripple through the walls as the defense zeroes in on the heart of their argument: trust, perception, and what really happened on the night in question. The prosecutor is clearly rattled, objections fly like arrows, and the judge walks a fine line between order and chaos. It's not just a legal clash, it's a war of narratives. Each word is deliberate, each pause, a tactical move. The atmosphere is electric, and we're just getting started.
is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him? Because it seems like he has a lot to say.
Let's hear what he's got to say.
Okay. Sir, is
Yes,
your
ma'am.
last name King or your first name King?
First name's King.
First name is King. What's your last name?
Jackson.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, what's going on here?
You guys tell me. I don't know what's going on here.
You were unaware of the reason that you were coming to court today?
Yeah, I'm just here.
Okay, you got served with paperwork. Did you read it?
No.
So you just showed up without you just came to court not knowing what was going on?
Well, I'm not going to miss court. So.
Well, I can appreciate that. Thank you. You're about the first person that is coming here and recognize that you should come to court when you are ordered to come to court. But you didn't read the paperwork, so you're not aware of anything.
I'm in a blind about all this, and nothing was discussed or anything like that. Just prior to, sent you a text message here. I think I still got it.
You sent her a text message?
Yeah, we communicate. We communicate back and forth.
Okay.
So for her to say that I'm inconsistent, I don't know where she's getting that from.
Well, how would you describe, you going and seeing your son and everything like that?
Oh, I'm an amazing father, but of course, when you get in court, it's something totally different. So. Yeah.
What do you mean by amazing father? Like, explain that to me.
How often do you come and pick up your son?
Excuse me, Miss Allen?
I'm sorry. My apologies.
And I know you know better. You've been here before.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Don't be sorry.
Thank you, Judge.
Just don't do it.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Now,
Thank you, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Jackson.
Yes.
You're welcome. Continue.
Being an amazing father, I go pick up my kids whenever I have the opportunity to. I do work at a bank here as a financial advisor.
All right.
So my schedule is not, it doesn't permit me to go pick them up like I would like to, but through our text message and everything like that, I'm able to communicate with her and go pick them up. As she said before, dropping them off, picking them up.
All right, guys, here's where things start to boil. The witness is under pressure, and the cross-examination hits like a hammer. Every question slices closer to the truth, but it's the hesitation in the answers that speaks volumes. You'll notice how the defense plays the long game here. Strategic, cold, precise. There's an eerie stillness between words, like the courtroom itself is holding its breath. When the witness fumbles, it's more than a mistake. It's a signal, a crack in the credibility. This part is all about the subtle unraveling of a seemingly solid story.
Taking them out to eat, buying school supplies.
Wait a minute, just so I'm clear. So she has custody of both of her sister's kids. Are you taking both of the kids? Are you?
No, just
Okay,
mine.
you just taking your son?
Yes.
Okay, because you said kids, so I didn't know if this was this child or you had outside children.
No, well, just this one.
Okay, okay, I got you. I follow you.
Yeah.
And
so,
that matters, because if you're going to be put on child support, you will get credit for any other children that you have. You said you work at a bank. How much money do you make?
say about $60K a year.
Okay, all right. So you pick up your son, you take him places, you do things with him.
Yes,
Do you buy him clothes and everything like that for your home?
of course.
Okay. As far as Aunt's home, though, Miss Allen's home, you don't.
I can't speak for our household. I
Okay.
can only speak for my household and when I have them. So,
All right.
other than that, yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel about knowing that you're here today to be placed on child support at her request?
I think it's a waste of time, honestly. I think we could have settled out of court for all this, but hey, you got to go through the process. So let's go through it.
Okay. Have you been giving her any financial assistance for your son up until now?
Yes,
All right. How have you been giving her financial assistance?
whenever she asks.
Okay. How frequent do you ask him?
I don't like to ask frequently because I feel like he knows his child has needs, wants even, and I don't have to pick up the phone and say, hey, your child's gonna eat today. Hey, look, I even brought my electricity bill, you know, like.
Buckle up, because this stretch is pure tactical brilliance. Watch how the defense dances through every statement with almost surgical accuracy. It's less about proving something and more about exposing what's missing. You'll see the power of silence, too, how the absence of detail can be louder than any answer. There's a chilling rhythm to how inconsistencies get pulled from the shadows and laid bare. You can feel the witness tightening, responses growing clipped. This isn't just questioning, it's psychological warfare. And every second drips with calculate.
Water,
This is
electricity, gas, $435 for electricity. I mean,
What does your bill have to do with my child?
your child lives in my home
Once
and
again.
uses this electricity, you know, watching TV or the enjoyment of the air conditioner, you know? I mean, it's just your child, you should pay.
Okay.
Financially.
Once again, you didn't answer the question. What do your
You're
bills have to
not,
do
you're
with my
not,
child?
you don't, if you're not gonna sit your child, if you're not gonna take care of your child and have your child with you, well, then you can pay financially,
Okay. Okay.
right?
I
I
choose
think-
to have my child with me, but hey, you know how you guys do.
Oh,
What does that mean? You guys do. What does that mean?
I'm not gonna get into that.
Oh, okay. But I asked you to. So what does that mean?
Yes, Your Honor. As I said before, I think I'm an amazing dad. Her and her sister. How can I say it without being rude? They have certain ways about them.
I could kind of tell that from the last time that they were here.
They have certain ways about them. A little money hungry, if you want to say that. I'm gonna say that and not use the other term. But hey, teach his own. Teach his own.
Okay. And she said some things about the electricity bill and everything like that.
Correct.
Do you think that child support should be
No, child support
determined
is
or
for the
spent
child.
on those expenses?
No, child support is for the child. Me paying your bills.
If you thought things were intense before, wait till you see this. The courtroom is now a pressure cooker, and this exchange is where everything threatens to explode. Emotions bubble under the surface, but the defense holds the line, pushing harder, getting bolder. Every line of questioning slices deeper, testing the witness's composure to its breaking point. There's a quiet power here, less shouting, more sharp cuts. And when the witness stumbles again, it's not just a slip, it's a shift. A moment where momentum begins to pivot, and you
have another child there, you probably have other dudes there. That's not my responsibility. So
Do you think she was asking you to pay those bills?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. She need help.
Miss Allen, were you asking him to pay those bills, or what
No,
exactly
Judge, I
was?
want him to just get the knowledge that, you know, your child lives in a household. You are not contributing to that household, so therefore you contribute financially to your child, so that your child is taken care of.
Okay.
You know, so that when school comes, there's school clothes and there, you know, there's backpacks and new shoes and you know.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think I understand where both of you are coming from. You know, it's just ironic that, not that you have to have an agreement outside of court, right? That's not a requirement or anything like that. But considering that you all seem to have somewhat of a decent relationship, I just would think this would be a conversation that you all had first to try to see what you can work out. But, I mean, nonetheless, we are here today. Do you have access to health insurance?
I do.
All right. Do you know how much it'll cost you to put your son on health insurance?
I don't have an exact number, but I'm pretty sure anywhere between $300 and $400
Okay.
a month.
All right. Is it possible that it could be cheaper than $300?
This section is like a slow-motion collapse. The pressure is now unmistakable, and the witness begins to fracture under the weight of what's been built so far. The defense doesn't even have to swing hard anymore. They just tap, and cracks start spreading. The courtroom's mood turns from aggressive to icy, like everyone realizes the damage has already been done. There's a silence that follows key questions, a silence that says more than words ever could. The tension is thick, the defense relentless, and the narrative, it's slipping.
Once again, I'm not sure. I have to go through and find out there, but pretty standard there. I believe it's about $300, $400. I think it might be cheaper, but I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Jackson, this is what we are going to do. We are going to place you on child support today. I mean, at the end of the day, the law is the law. You do have a responsibility to financially support your child, any children that you may have. Your child is living with his aunt. She should receive some sort of financial support in caring for your son, just like the mother does. All right? You understand what I'm saying? So it's not to punish you or anything like that, but she is entitled to receive some sort of support for taking care of your child. All right? Now, child support is, go ahead.
So all the cash apps and everything that I have here and all the text messages and everything, that means nothing, correct?
No, you haven't told me that. You haven't told me. I mean, I asked, you know, how much have you been giving her?
Like I said, whenever she asks,
But
asks,
what does that mean? Like, numerically, how does that look?
what, an extra $250 to $500?
A month?
Yeah, say that.
Okay, and the last time you were here, I believe.
Guys, here's the final strike. What started as subtle pressure is now a complete dismantling. The witness's credibility lies in pieces, and the defense doesn't let up. They're closing in step by calculated step. You can sense that the entire courtroom knows what just happened, but no one says it out loud. The pacing is brutal, the tone colder than ever. There's no grand outburst, just the quiet certainty of a narrative undone. It's the kind of finish that leaves echoes. You don't just hear it, you feel it. A devastating end to a masterclass in cross-examination.
You said your nephew had been with you, let me see, I have my notes here, 9 months at the time.
250, there's no way. 250 to 500, there's no way.
Okay.
He'll send like $20 here, $30 here, 40. But I've never received a payment more than $50 ever.
Never?
So is it possible
sure?
that, excuse me,
No,
Are you sure?
I'm
me.
sure.
I'll let you
Okay.
guys talk the first time. Now I'm talking. So is it possible that the $250 to $500 is a total based on sending smaller amounts? Is that possible?
Sure.
Because she's saying she hasn't received that in a month.
And like I said, my electricity bill was $430
Once
a
again,
month.
that's not my responsibility.
It's not, but your child lives in my home.
Okay, you keep talking about your bills. You need to
Okay,
focus
well,
on my
let me
child,
just clear
okay?
this up. The bills don't matter, okay? I mean, I get what you're saying. I
Yes.
understand. The child lives there. There
It was
are
just,
things that
you know,
you have to pay for. I get it.
I was just saying,
His child
it's-
support is not going to be paid based on your electricity
Absolutely.
bill, your gas bill, any of those
But
bills
he
that
wants
you
to
brought
sit
today.
here and say $250 to $500. That's probably been in a year. And what I was just trying
Come
to
on
say
now.
is, come on, I mean, come on.
Come
$500
on
in
now.
a year, that's
Come
not
on now.
much.
Well, she did ask for back child
Come on.
support too, so that's the reason that I asked what it was that you had paid her.
You can take $500 off. Fine.
$500 off
From
the back
buck-
pay?
Yeah. I'll
Okay,
give him
now
that.
you do understand that back pay starts
that.
from the day that you filed, right? She hasn't filed, you know, it's been fairly recent since she filed. So